my book begins with meeting Ram Dass in 1975, and the book actually ends with an experience of him 30 years later. And so my videographer has a phone call. So when I published this book, a writer in this world of 400,000 new books released in the States every year, you become desperate for people to give you a blurb on the back. And you have to strain your brain for anybody remotely well known that you might have crossed paths with who might be kind enough to say something for you on the back of the book. And I found a number of them, but I wanted Ram Dass on there, so I emailed him and asked him if he'd be willing to blurb my book. And I heard nothing back. Mind you, we had met when I was 23. We had a very deep relationship. I was in a small class with him about this size for many months, and we stayed in touch over the years. He did have a stroke about 7, 8 years ago, and so I didn't know when I didn't hear back, well, maybe he's not checking email. I know he's working on his healing. Maybe his brain was affected. He doesn't even know who I am anymore. I didn't want to push, but I am a little pushy, so I wrote another email, and I said, maybe you didn't get the last one, but I just thought you'd be willing to blurb my book. Heard nothing back. So I thought, well, maybe that's not even the right email address. I would just like to hear no, I won't, or yes, or So I sent him a snail mail letter, and in the letter I include photos of him and me from the early years, thinking maybe we'd ring, strike a bell. Got nothing back. And then in a last-ditch effort, I sent a final email, and I was very self-effacing. I said, listen, I just want to know that you're on the other end of these messages because I don't want to be inappropriate and I don't want to badger you, and I'm already feeling like you must hate me and think I should rot in hell forever. And so that he responds to, and he writes back, Dear Eliezer, if you go to hell, I'll miss you. Namaste, Ram Dass. Doesn't mention the book, doesn't refer to any of the things I asked in the letter, nothing. So I waited a few months, and I made one more try. I emailed him again with his little note about if you go to hell, I'll miss you, and I wrote underneath it, I said, so would that be a no to blurbing my book? And then he said, okay, please send me the manuscript. I said, oh, progress. Then never heard from him again, and I let it go. But now, fast forward a couple years, and I'm about to go on this very book tour, and I'm feeling a little weird because the book, he's a significant part of the book, and he didn't endorse it, and I felt like, well, I really want his blessings. So I arranged through his internet site to do a one-on-one video call, which is available to anybody who looks on his website. It wasn't because it was me or I was special. I just signed my name in the schedule. So we had this conversation about my life and his life. And then we got to this point, and I said, well, we did that dance about you endorsing my book, and now I'm going out to promote it, and I feel like I need your blessings because you didn't endorse it. And he said, you have my blessings as long as you're truthful. And I had to sit with that for months. Well, truthful about what? And what did he mean? It was like a Zen koan for me. To what extent can I sit in front of people in town after town that I don't know, phobic public speaker that I actually am, even if it doesn't appear that way. What does it mean to be truthful? To what extent can I be authentically myself out here? And then we went on to talk about it, and he said, the book in a lot of ways is a story of your ego, and the story of the ego's struggle to find itself. But to do a book tour identified as your ego is a pain in the ass. He said, to do a book tour remembering that you're a soul and that the people who come to see you are souls, that can generate something a little deeper or more meaningful for everyone. So, so it's not just about selling a book, it's about hopefully creating something here tonight together.